The first thing Mark noticed wasn't a sound, it was the silence. He had been in the middle of a heated argument on his phone, pacing his living room, rehearsing a lie to cover his tracks. Then, a sudden, weightless hum filled the air, sound like a billion wings taking flight at once. Then nothing. The phone in his hand was still active, the cursor blinking in the text box where his half-written gossip sat. But the person on the other end was gone. He looked out his window. A car sat idling in the middle of the street. The driver's door wide open, but the seat was empty. A lawnmower hummed against a fence, unattended.
Panic, cold and sharp, began to claw at his chest. He remembered the warnings he'd laughed off, the sermons he'd sat through while checking his watch, the extra or ill he told himself he'd by tomorrow. He ran to his sister's house next door. The front door was ajar. On the kitchen table sat her Bible and a cup of coffee, still steaming. Her gardening gloves were on the floor, curled as if she had just stepped out of them. He called her name, his voice cracking, but the only answer was the ticking of the wall clock. He realized then that the main actor, Jesus Christ, had arrived. The curtains had closed, and he was still standing in the wings. He had spent his life nurturing habits and holding on to grudges, always thinking there would be one more Sunday to get it right. Mark stepped onto the porch and looked at the sky. The clouds were swirling, glowing with the fading embers of a light that had just departed. He saw the shimmering trail of a celebration he wasn't invited to. He wasn't rising. Gravity felt heavier than ever, pinning him to a world that suddenly felt hollow and grey. The gossip, the lies and the pride, the things he refused to let be the last, were now the only things he had left. He stood on the driveway, clutching a phone that would never ring again, watching the sunset of a world he realized, too late, was never truly home.